Alright then guys, this is Yara here, and today we're going to be talking about this busted Buster Blader deck profile. I mean, this deck was made to beat Sprites, Tearlaments, Flounderies, you name it, and it is a very easy deck to use, so you don't have to be using 200 IQ the entire time. It has a very simple goal, which is making the Buster Dragon plus the Buster Blader fusion during the opponent's turn, and that is basically your end goal. So and it's a very powerful end goal, which basically locks the opponent out of using any monster effects for the remainder of their turn. So it's a very powerful combo that you want to be able to complete. So if you want a simple deck that is very strong, then this is gonna be the deck for you. And as a matter of fact, I played against a Flounderies player in Rated that I'm gonna be showing that game profile at the end. That gameplay at the end of the video, so you can witness this deck in action. So, but yeah, let's get started. 40 cards, maximum consistency. Let's go. So we're playing 3 Ash. Ash is still the best hand trap in the game. We're playing 3 Buster Bladers. The fact that this one right here, the Destruction Swordmaster, is not a pure Buster Blader in hand hurts a lot. It means that you cannot summon it off of the Buster Whelp or the Link. So there's been multiple times where I wish that this guy was a pure Buster Blader in hand, but since he's not, that's why I decided not to run him. That has messed me up multiple times, so I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna cut this card. It's not worth it anymore. So we're playing 3 Buster Whelps. This card is amazing. Searches you the best trap in your deck, which is the Prologue. Can search you other things as well, not just Prologue. If you already have Prologue in hand, you can choose to search the Sword Flash. So yeah, the fact that it's a dragon, and then you can link it off and have a dragon engrave, which makes your Prologue live, makes it very good. So 3 Whelp mandatory. We're playing 2 Ecclesia because we are playing the Dogmatica packaging here. The fact that a lot of the times you don't want to use the effect to search because it locks you out of the extra deck. You just want to link it off to make your Whelp link. So yeah, it's very useful when it comes to that, but worst case scenario, you can use the effect to add a punishment or a floor, so it's very useful when it comes to that. We're playing the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. This card is basically a permanent scythe as long as he's being equipped to a monster. So guess what? This deck can actually utilize this card very easily. You can send this from your Whelp link, and also the fact that you can equip it to one of your Buster Bladers in the field is very strong, locking the opponent out of the extra deck, which is a pretty broken play if you ask me. So we're playing 3 Phantasmes for 2 reasons. One, most of the meta nowadays links. We're talking about Pendulums, Tearlaments, Sprite, a bunch of rogue decks. And of course, when you're going up against Flounderies, you're going to want to side this out. But the other reason is also because it's a dragon, right? So the fact that it's a dragon, if it gets sent to the graveyard for whatever reason, either the Ishizu meals you, or you activate the effect and negate it, destroys it, sends it to the graveyard, now you have a dragon engraved, which means that you're going to be able to lock the opponent out since you already have a dragon in graveyard to be able to fuse with your Sword of Memory. So yeah. So we're playing 1 Bell. Bell's good against most of the meta. You can decide whether to max this out if you want to, but I would just keep it at 1. We're playing 3 Reaper because we have a lot of room in the extra deck. And guess what? This deck can utilize Reaper so well. We have some of the best targets for Reaper. When we get to that, I'll show you. We're playing 3 Nadir Servants. Amazing card. For 2 reasons. It searches Ecclesia, and it sends a dragon to the graveyard. So if you send a Titanclad, now you have a dragon for your Sword of Memories, which means that you can perform the lock. So but worst case scenario, you can send a Garuda just to upstart, draw a card. This is very versatile. So yeah, we're playing 3 Pot of Prosperity because we want to have access to our Prologue or our Whelp. So Pot of Prosperity gives you consistency to be able to see either Prologue, Trap Trick, or the Buster Whelp. So we're playing 1 of the Sword Flash. Both of this card's effect is amazing. The fact that you can if you have a Buster Blader Fusion in the field, you can banish all your opponent's monsters. It's pretty crazy to me, and it's searchable. Pretty crazy. And the other effect actually came up. I was playing against a player that was running Fenrir. He activated the effect to target my monster. I banished it from graveyard and destroyed his Fenrir. So the second effect can come up a lot, so don't forget about that. 2 Sword of Memories. This card is mandatory to perform the combo. You banish it and you fusion to make the Buster Blader Fusion. So you don't want to run 3 because it's kind of bricky, but you have to run 2 because in case you draw 1. So 2 Punishment. The reason I'm running 2 is because you can trap trick it as well in case you really need it. 3 Impermanence, best hand trap in the game right now. Well, between this and Ash, in my opinion, one of those 2. 3 Prologue, Census Cost. The amount of times that people Ash this card because they don't read the card is insane. I say Prologue, I send my monsters, they're like, wait, hold on, I have Ash. I'm like, well, you can't Ash this. It Census Cost from deck, so yeah, you cannot activate this if you're under Shifter or something like that, so keep that in mind. 3 Trap Trick to have access to your Prologue, Imperm, or Punishment. So 40 cards on the main deck. Now we're gonna go to the side. Pankratops against Sprite. Nibiru is actually seeing more play nowadays. It can catch people as surprise. Call by the Grave, good going first in case they want to Ash your Whelp or something like that. 3 Cosmic Cyclone against Runic, very good card against Runic and against back row decks. 3 Super Poly because we have a lot of room in the extra deck, so if we're going up against a deck that gets hurt by Super Poly, we're gonna be sliding those in. You bet you we will. So 1 Appointer, very good card, has won me multiple games. And 3 Judgments. You kind of want to protect your back row or your Prologue. You can always chain Prologue, so that's not the worst case scenario, but Judgment is very versatile. Now to one of the most interesting parts of this deck, right, which is the extra deck. I'm gonna explain to you guys every decision that I made with the extra deck. We're playing 1 Elf. Sometimes we can make it ourselves, like if we have like a Whelp on the field, then we can go into this with another monster, but not really. This is mainly more of a Cherry, a Ghost Reaper target. So you reveal this, banish all 3 other elves. A lot of them run 3. We're playing 1 Protector Whelp for 2 reasons. The fact that he sends any special summons, very broken card. You can send the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword, and then you can special summon a Buster Blader from your hand. Then you activate the effect to equip, and now the opponent is locked out of the extra deck. So very good. Play 1 Linkuriboh. Because when you normal summon out your Buster Whelp, you summon, you link it off for Linkuriboh. Now you have a Dragon Engrave. Then we're gonna play 1 Dark. Sometimes it comes up. You have a lot of dark monsters to be able to take something from the opponent. 1 Beyond the Pendulum for another Reaper target if you're going up against Pendulum. Gigantic Sprite, another Reaper target. We're playing 2 Buster Dragons. So this card is very good because it turns all of the monsters your opponent controls into dragons. Which means that basically if they're gonna want to fuse it for something like a tier element kit, or well, not kit, more like if the fusion they're gonna do requires a specific type, then they won't be able to do it because this makes the dragons. And this plus the Buster Blader locks them out of using the effects, because Buster Blader fusion makes it so that it changes all of their monsters, all their dragon monsters into defense positions, but also dragon monsters in their possession cannot activate their effects. So they cannot even attempt to activate the effect. So yeah, this plus this is the lock that you're gonna want to do. And a Prologue plus a dragon in your graveyard is all you need, right? Prologue plus a dragon in your graveyard is all you need, so keep that in mind. So we're playing 1 Titanclad because sometimes we want to send it off of the Nadir to be able to have a dragon in graveyard to perform the lock. Plus it searches your Ecclesia, so why not, right? Or your Fleur. 1 Kid for the Reaper target, 1 Mirror Jade for Reaper target. Sometimes you can actually make this with Super Poly, so that's interesting. 1 Garura for the Nadir or Super Poly, 1 Elder into the Ints for your Dogmatica Punishment. We're playing 2 of the Buster Bladers. We kind of want to play 2 and 2 since the second ones do come up every now and then, actually very often. So I would actually keep it at 2 of each. So yeah, now let's go over to the gameplay that I promised you guys. So let's see. So right here, I don't know who I'm going up against. This is rated, by the way. So I start off with the Reaper, Buster Blader, Trap Trick, Ash Blossom, and the Ecclesia. My opponent starts off with the Quick Spell, Ash, Map, Quick Spell, and Ash. So I start going first. A normal summon out Ecclesia. I search a copy of Punishment. Now I'm gonna set Trap Trick and set the Punishment. So the opponent is gonna draw into the Trap card. So right here he can play. He can actually play, but he kind of decides not to. Actually, I take that back. He cannot play. He has no plays right here, so he has to pass right here. So he's try to end, and now I'm gonna flip over the Trap Trick. He says thinking, he's just baiting it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and during the end phase banish out Prologue, and I'm gonna go ahead and during the end phase I'm activate Prologue, sending a copy. So he tries to ash me. I'm telling you guys, when you play this deck, people will try to ash you every single game because people don't read. They just see something that sends, they're like, I'm gonna ash this, but this is cost, so you cannot ash this. So I send over the Memories plus Buster Blader. I tell them you can't ash it, it's cost, so they cannot ash this. So I'm gonna go ahead and summon the Buster Dragon. So the reason why I'm doing this, even though I cannot perform the lock, is because I kind of want to have another monster on the field so that I can start making plays, so I can start like pressuring my opponent. So at this moment I don't know what my opponent is playing. So now, since I already know he has Ash, now I'm gonna activate the Buster Dragon to special summon my Buster Blader from graveyard. So right here I'm gonna go ahead and banish 3 for Prosperity. He's gonna go ahead and Ash that. I just banished some Reaper targets right here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and link both of those off for the Whelp Link effect to send and special summon. So I send this, I send the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword, I special summon out my Buster Blader from hand. Now I'm gonna activate this. I'm still thinking I'm going up against a meta deck like Tear Laments or Sprite. So right now he's locked out of the extra deck. Not that it matters against flow, but he would have been locked, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and just attack. I'm gonna attack for 52 plus 400, that's 56. So now he's gonna draw into Shifter and he just scoops it up. He doesn't want to reveal what deck he's in. So now we're gonna go to game number 2. So now I'll draw into the Prologue, Buster Blader, Prologue, Phantasme and Cosmic Cyclone, Shifter, Harpy's Featherstorm, Empen, Eaglin, and Robina. So Chainlink 1 Eagle. He's gonna go ahead and grab a copy of Empen. He's gonna normal summon out Robina. He's gonna go ahead and search out a copy of the Bear Statue. So I'm gonna tree with both of those off for Empen. Chainlink 1 Empen, Chainlink 2 Eagle. Now he's gonna go ahead and search a copy of the Trap card right here. He's gonna normal summon out the Bear Statue, which is this is like the classic combo. Right here, I'm like he probably has he has Shifter, Bear Statue, Harpy's Featherstorm, and the Trap card and Empen. There's no way I win this, right? So he activates Shifter. I'm gonna go ahead and chain the Cosmic Cyclone, and I just kind of wing it because this one can only be activated during the main phase. So I'm kind of hoping that I hit Dreaming Town, but I don't. I hit Harpy's Featherstorm. Some luck is not on my side, right? So now I set the double Prologue. I'm saying think of main. He's gonna activate the Trap card during the main phase. Normal summon out Eagle, Chainlink 2 Robina. So he's gonna go ahead and search the Mega Risa. Normal summon out Robina. I'm gonna go ahead and Ash that. A lot of people don't know that you can still Ash under Shifter, but you can. He activates Duality. And right here, I just kind of scoop it up because I'm like, there's no way I win this. So now we're gonna go to game number 3. Game number 3, I draw into Prologue, Whelp, Called by the Grave, Pot of Prosperity, and Whelp. Right now, I sided out my Phantasmates. I've sided out everything that is not good in versus this matchup. The opponent opens Empin, evenly match, Pot of Prosperity, map, and the quick spell. So he has plays. He has evenly matched. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start out with Whelp. The reason I started with Whelp is so my Pot of Prosperity has more accuracy, since I'm gonna take a card out of the deck. So I'm gonna search the Sword Flash, since I already have the Prologue. If you don't have this, you kind of want to search Prologue, because Prologue is your MVP. Now I'm gonna activate Prosperity. I have Called by the Grave in case he has Shifter. So I look at all those. So right here, none of this are actually that good of this. I don't want to draw Trap Trick. Sure, I can go into Imperm, but why make my back row more vulnerable? So I'm pretty sure I just go for Ash right here. Yeah, I go for Ash because I'm like, another layer of interruption that's not a back row interruption is very good. I put all those back. Now I link that off for Linkuriboh, and I just set 3 and pass turn. My opponent draws into Robina, so he has a lot of plays right here. So he activates Prosperity. He activates Prosperity for 6, and I just Ash that because Prosperity for 6 is very scary. He basically will have access to whatever he wants. So I'm like, I'm gonna Ash that, because I know that even if he normal summons Robina, I can stop that, right? I can stop that. So he goes Battle Phase. I banish my Call by the Grave, my Sword Flash, and my Linkuriboh. That's gonna activate map effect. I'm gonna go ahead and chain the Prologue. Send my memories plus Buster Blader, and I'm gonna do chain link 3 memories to fusion using those. Now I go into my Buster Blader. Chain resolves, chain link 2 Buster Dragon. So now he has to resolve map right here. So he's gonna reveal Robina. He's gonna banish Eaglin. And right here he just kind of scoops it up, right? Because he knew that he was gonna lose that game. There's nothing that he can do here. Because whatever monster touches the field cannot activate the effect. So it's pretty insane. So yep. That was it for the profile plus the gameplay. As always, guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, but I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.